What's up, guys? It's Thomas and welcome back to the personal channel, Per-chan for short. Today I will be sharing my personal testimony about how God saved me, how he made me focus on Jesus Christ, and throughout you will see how God can take someone out of a broken situation and make them completely whole again. So we start with phase 1, birth and early childhood. I was born into a religious household with a dad who was a devout Southern Baptist and my mom who was a newly converted Christian at the time. As you can imagine, they began taking me and my twin sister Jordan to church by the time they were able to settle on one. As a young child, I never understood why going to church was so important. Sure, I saw the pastor get up on the pulpit, and I would tell my parents that I wanted to be like him one day. And of course, they would smile and laugh and think, "Oh, our son's gonna be a pastor one day, so sweet." But the thing is, I didn't understand at the time what it took to be a pastor. It wasn't until the age of about 5 or 6 that I understood the importance of going to church, God, and more importantly, my hero, Jesus Christ. I learned that church is a place where God's word, the Bible, is taught, and that God created everyone in the hopes that they would have a relationship with him. As for Jesus though, my childish mind initially thought that Jesus was some form of a joke. What a silly name, and why are we being taught about this man? Completely baffled me at a young age. Shortly thereafter, I was taught in private school just how important Jesus Christ was, and learned about what he did for me on the cross. More on school later. I began to learn how important church attendance was through my dad indirectly. There came a time when my dad stopped going to church with me, my mom, and my sister. He spent more time at work, spent more time drinking, and whenever he came home, he took whatever anger he had out on his entire family. There was a point in my life where my earthly father scared the living daylights out of me. And when I was only 7 years old, my life would change forever. My dad got really sick from a severe stroke. Little did I know, but this event would not only change me externally, but have an impact on how I viewed life, fatherhood, and the image of who God truly is. I don't know what trauma truly does to people, but I can only speculate on what my life would look like if my dad had not gotten sick. According to Romans 8:28 though, and we know that in all things God works for those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. In 2013, I got baptized. It wasn't a sign that my life would change instantly for the better, but it was a sign that I was Team Jesus all the way. At this time, I knew little about what it took to have a relationship with Christ. Me being a naive 9-year-old, I was only focused on what was on my iPad or, what my friends at school were up to. Most likely Beyblades, Pokemon, or Minecraft. We were nerds. From elementary all the way to high school, I can confidently say that I was not picking up my cross and living my life for Christ like people were telling me to do. I can't really speak for anybody else, but from what I remember, my peers around me weren't doing the same either. I was letting the wrong crowd influence my decisions, and sooner or later it had a negative impact on my spiritual life. I was rarely ever spending time reading my Bible, or going to church, or spending time in community. In that time, I would be exposed to pornography at the age of 13. There's a saying that goes, "An empty mind is the devil's workshop." And that's exactly what my problem was. I wasn't filled with God's word, his wisdom, or his love. I have heard of Jesus, but I didn't know Jesus. There's a difference between the two. Maybe I'll touch on that in a later video. Unfortunately, lust has had a powerful grip on me, and has even followed me into adulthood today. Now before we move on to phase 4, I would like to say, if you've made it this far already, thank you so much for continuing to watch this video. If you really like it so far, leave a like on the like button, and turn on notifications the next time a video comes out if you're already subscribed. Now all things good or bad must come to an end, and I can confidently say that my life spent away from Christ ended when a friend, former classmate, invited me to a Wednesday night church service. I looked around and saw community, worship, free pizza, God's word being spoken, and an opportunity to serve. Looking back, I found a home. After that night of worship, I will look into serving on the media team to help them with worship services. It wouldn't end there though. At the end of my 8th grade year, my new football coach would pull me into his office, and I had one of the most spiritual conversations I ever had with a father figure. My coach made me realize that if I were to die that day, God may not have accepted me into heaven due to my actions not backing up my faith. It was also there that I learned that Jesus Christ is the man that we as Christians are to emulate and to become like. I shed a few tears thinking about my life up until that point. In high school, I had the look of a Christian, but the heart of a lukewarm one. My own self-interest came first over God, and I was more focused on trying to fit in with everyone else. Like every teenage boy, there was always one thing on my mind: girls. The desire to have a relationship stemmed from the desire of truly wanting to be liked by everyone. I figured my life would be happier with one. However, I was mostly single in my 4 years of high school, and more often than not, there were a lot of times where I felt like I had no friends. I would hear rumors of people kissing, making out, and even having sex, and I would think to myself, why can't that be me? What do I have to do that the other guys are getting? I was sad, lonely, and even jealous of everyone up until I graduated. Looking back on my high school days, I realized that trying to live for the world is a very saddening thing to do, and that I was relying on the wrong things to make me feel fulfilled. It wasn't until I graduated that I became more happier. In that time, I spent more time reading the Bible and knowing who Jesus Christ truly was. In the end, I concluded that Jesus was God, and that he really was who he said he was. Since I got to college, it's been a breeze. I found a new family in the Connect College ministry. I met new friends who keep me spiritually accountable. I found a new passion for storytelling through being a school news reporter, and I am heavily dependent on God shaping the next phase of my life. What I have learned is that there's always a new season full of trials and change that is crucial to your spiritual maturity. If I can leave you with any more Bible verses that can inspire you, then they would be these: Proverbs 27:17, Matthew 11:28-30, John 14:6, and Ecclesiastes 3:4. But guys, that was my personal testimony. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way through, we have gained 13 subscribers since the last video was posted, and the engagement on this channel since then has been insane. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my dreams. If you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell for when future videos will be posted. Of course, more information on future videos will be posted on my other social media platforms, X and Instagram, so make sure to follow me there for more details. It was good talking to you. Have a blessed day. See you later.